Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studio in Boston, Massachusetts, and the Gurkha Cigar Studio in beautiful British Columbia. Welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Mitchell Santaga.
You know, I have to say, I did get really comfortable. Hold on, let me get this out of the way. So used to having... I was getting really comfortable with my space, I could spread out, I could stretch, and it's feeling a little crammed in here again, but that's okay.
Yeah, crammed with his wife.
That's
He's so
okay.
nice to me.
But that's okay. But that's okay.
The banter begins.
This is the only person that I really want crammed next to me over here.
I can't tell if you're lying or not, but...
Although, very, very few people have actually done this show as a guest, for example. I mean, Nicole's not a guest, but
I'm not.
Another person being here with me, very few people have done it. Carney has done it several times, but John's also like a very close personal friend of mine, so he does, come to my humble abode. But very few people. I mean, you gotta think most of the people we have on the show are, not even around here. It's long distance. So, but somebody actually did heavily suggest and really make it known that they were eager to come do the show with me here in person. And I was like, I don't know what to say because I like just kind of being over here by myself, but this person also lives nearby.
The only thing is I'm thinking about both of you. Thank you. I'm thinking about both of you and that person, and I don't think you're both going to fit on the screen. And the actual
Dang, shots
camera...
fired.
Wow,
Shots
shots fired.
But
I
with the
mean,
actual...
Now I can't say who it is.
Camera, no. But the camera angle, I mean, we have a lovely backdrop, but it's not that big.
Well, the backdrop could be expanded.
I know, but...
It's also just like, I don't know. It's strange having people at the house.
Because how are you going to be like... I mean, we both, look at the camera, but I feel like you'd have to be more like this with him.
It would be like this doing
Yeah.
a show, and then Mitchell's just over there like, oh, hey, I'm on the computer, by the way.
To
I'll go
be
fuck
in the
myself.
camera, you're going to be, touching knees and... I don't know.
I don't know.
And really, do you want to invite the beast into the house?
I mean, for this particular person, I would, because I do love him on a personal level, and he's always been good to me. But yeah, no, I was like, well, I don't know, I'll think about it, but I don't want to say who it is now because now I feel like you fired some shots.
No,
and
there were no shots fired.
Well, you alluded to him being a bigger guy. I mean, it's not too hard to figure out at this point.
It's time about you.
I know, we're dropping so many hints right now.
I mean, he does have the alter ego of a particular mythical creature that lives in the woods. So if that's not enough to figure it out,
Yeah, you don't know your cigar people. At that point.
But he is coming on soon. We don't usually announce guests too far out. I like to keep it current, but he is coming on. He was actually supposed to be on 2 weeks ago.
Get him in studio.
And
you guys can just get wasted on bourbon.
he was supposed to come on 2 weeks ago, but he forgot that he was doing the end of the Summer of Saka with Abe. So Steve is actually coming on.
And perhaps in person at our house.
Perhaps at my house. Perhaps at my house. I don't know.
Oh, you can meet the baby.
We have not discussed this yet. October 25th. I have to talk to Steve about it. So yeah, I don't know. That could be a big deal though. I don't know. That could be a big deal. It's exclusive to be in studio, and not that it's supposed to be, but just that's how the cards have fallen. But Steve could be part of that very elite group. I don't know, Carney. Look out.
Yeah, the elite group who
It's a very elite
comes
group.
to our studio.
I know.
In our garage.
Very few people. I'm trying to think of industry people. Who else has actually been here in person with me? There's Carney.
Just John.
I think it is only John. I thought maybe there was one or two others. It's just John. Wow.
Hopefully I can make the trek out one day.
Well, if you can snowshoe your ass down from Canada, we'd love to have
My
you in studio.
snowmobile.
That's
And my portable igloo.
Yeah. Mitchell was a good boy this week. Mitchell was. I know you probably shouldn't say this on air, but I'm going to because it's my show and I don't really think it matters. But Mitchell was a good boy this week. Mitchell reciprocated.
Boy.
Mitchell reciprocated. So as many people know, the running joke on the show is that we have to smuggle cigars up to him in Canada. Well, I had a request of something that he has in Canada that I don't have. And no, it wasn't Cuban cigars. No, I don't need those. It was Cuban rum. It was Havana Club, and Mitchell, who's a very good boy, took my advice and said, "Hey, send this to the United States." And
I have my people. I have my ways.
and and it arrived, and I got it today, and I was very excited. So thank you, Mitchell, for being such a good sport. That was a highlight of my day.
My pleasure. My pleasure. At the trade show, I brought down Canadian exclusive cigars that came wrapped in bands that
I still have
come in one color.
I still have mine, and I don't even want to smoke it because I'm like,
fun.
this is the only plain packaging cigar that I have, and I want to keep it so I can use it as an example.
Did you tell them what he wrote on the package?
Oh, well, I wasn't going to get into that, but I mean, I might as
I don't
well.
know if we want to give away our secrets, right?
I don't know.
They're going to see an uptick in this being shipped now
Gonna be
across
like-
the country.
So on the Canadian Customs manifestation slip, under the description, I told Mitchell just list it as like olive oil or something, Well, Mitchell, who, as some people know, Coop calls Boy Wonder. Well, he was wearing his Boy Wonder hat on, when Kenny's come. So Kenny's with your brother right now. That's awesome. What's up, Kenny? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so Mitchell said, I got this. So what did Mitchell put under item description? Water-based personal lubricant.
Hey, it's a water-based product.
So
You know who would-
I'm sure
and-
someone looked at that box with the 2 bottles and they're like, this is a lot of lube. So I'm surprised that didn't get flagged, but because who orders that much lube from Canada?
Oh, I'll give you one name right now. Matt Booth.
I was gonna say Boofy.
From Canada, though?
You don't understand. Matt's the kind of guy who orders weird things from unusual places, and it's usually because there's a very specific reason. And he's the kind of guy who would be like, my man, water-based personal lubricants can change an entire sexual experience. And only the best stuff comes from Canada. I mean, I'm telling you.
We have
it's
some
the
of the
balls,
cleanest
man.
water here.
Yeah, and you don't want to have any unnatural on your business down there with you and your lady friend. Or your man friend, whichever is your fancy. That's something along the lines
Or
of what I would
friends.
say. Or friends.
But how big are those bottles? Like liters?
No, those are 750s.
750. Okay, so
Those
who
are regular
needs 2
750s.
750 bottles of lube?
Again, we have the
Yep.
answer.
Yep.
We have the answer.
We spent
Every
the night
time you
with
ask
Matt.
a question, Matt is going to be the answer. Who needs that? Matt. Matt. Why would he buy it? Because it's Matt. Telling you. And can I just tell you, while we're on this subject, and because Matt's name was already thrown out there, so I was on the phone with Matt one time, and he was cleaning out his office, and about halfway through, he tells me, he's like, I just found this box in my closet. I'm like, and I could tell by the excitement in his voice that there was, so I'm like, what's in there? So he's like, oh, bro. And then he was like, do you remember? And then he was like, nah, you're too young. And something about, they had these little plastic combs that you used to buy. I don't know. The older generation, and that's not a dig, but the older people who are probably like 40 and up, probably nobody.
Wasn't it a black comb? I don't know. It was
These
something
special
old.
combs that like they used to have back in like the 80s, and I don't know. And he had like a whole display of them. It was random. But then he was also like, oh yeah, and he goes, and then I have a bunch of lube shooters. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, like lube. It was like little sex lube. He's like, let me show you a picture. He sent me, and I'm like, why do you have that? And he was like, I don't know.
Memorabilia for the good old days.
He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what are you gonna do with it? He's like, I don't know.
You know what? Probably went right back in that box and it's still back in his closet.
It probably still is. I have to ask him, but you still got those loop shutters? I mean, this is also the guy who had a stripper pole at his last, self-contained booth at the trade show, as well as a little glory hole. In 2021, there was well, I don't want to say rumors because he did confirm it, but he had planned to bring a sex swing to his booth, but somebody forgot the base, and so they weren't able to set it up.
I think they assumed they could hang it from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Hang it from the ceiling.
Well,
Now-
that is a way on how to hook one of those up.
That's one long
So
chain you would need from
and
the
anybody
trade show ceiling.
and anybody who wants to call bullshit, please, I would want you to call me out for that statement. I want you to say, no, Matt, there's no way that's true. Well, I have proof, and it's Kevin. Because Kevin, for those who don't know, prior to his tenure at Smokin Tabacco, he used to work for Matt at the trade show. And so he was in the booth every year for the last several years before the move over to Forged. And he was an integral part of that. So anyone can ask, Kevin Akoff, be like, did Matt Booth have a sex swing at his booth? And he'll tell you the swing was there, but we couldn't set it up. And he'll confirm it. And, I'm telling you, he knows. There's a lot of weird shit that's gone down in that booth. Anyway, that's our rant on Matt for the night. I love him, so I'll always give him some time.
I feel like we should get to what we're smoking because that's how far we got into the show right now.
Welcome
yeah.
back to the show.
I know.
Welcome back to the show. So that's what we're doing. That's what we've been up to. But this week our cigars are once again brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's right. That's the number 2, guyscigars.com. You can head over there today to find an amazing selection of cigars and cigar accessories from all over the industry, only at the number 2, guyscigars.com. Nicole, what are we smoking today?
So since I am now just starting to smoke again after like 10 months of not smoking,
Roughly.
I'm trying to play catch up with a bunch of stuff that came out obviously while I was not able to smoke. So tonight I'm having a McAuliffe Black, which I have to say is pretty good. Not gonna lie, there was a lot of hype around this, so I was excited to try it.
It is good, and we're smoking the Toro size, which Kevin reviewed this cigar a few months ago and gave this cigar 91. So again, if you haven't tried the McAuliffe Black, check it out now. Fantastic cigar, and once again, I think this might be the cigar that really changes the game for McAuliffe cigars. So, congrats to them. And yeah, it's a fantastic cigar for $8. This
It's
cigar
only $8.
$8. You
I
can't.
could've
It's hard to
sworn-
beat for $8.
Okay. See, I would have pegged it at
Smokes
least like 15.
Yeah, smokes
Exactly.
like a $13 to $16 cigar.
Yeah.
See?
Especially with newer prices coming out. Yeah, easily.
See,
Yeah, I would have said this was $8.
right? But it is,
Smokes
and
well.
it's a great value. It's a great value.
Even at $8, it's great.
And anyone listening, any new cigars that you think I should absolutely try that I missed out on, because I haven't smoked since December of last year. So anything that's like came out in that period that you think I should smoke, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Put them in the comments. Send us a message. What new cigars should Nicole try? Because anything that's come out in pretty much the last 12 months, there's a good chance she probably has not had it. So put it in there. What should she be smoking? Because she needs something to go off of. Because we have a lot of them here. She just hasn't got through them all yet. But if she had
What should my priorities be?
yeah, let's see
I
what the
guess.
people think. Let's see what names get thrown out. I mean, I
did have a Papa Saka the other day.
she did.
That was really good. I had bought a box when I was pregnant.
Smoked it before I smoked it.
Hey, I was still shopping even though I was pregnant. I was still buying cigars. So,
Yeah.
I had the Liga 10, the Robusto, the Anniversario.
Yeah, but you had that before, didn't you?
I did. That's not new. You're right, but I bought that box because
So-
it was hard to get them for a while.
Mike said Arturo Fuente,
So-
Eye of the Bull, which we had.
And I did actually smoke that.
We
in
had that
November.
before it came out.
Yeah, when we were visiting Fuente in November, I did have one.
We did have which Mike, great idea. That's a great cigar. I love it in that size.
Papa Saka. Oh, Timeless Black. Okay.
Timeless Black. Okay, yep.
And the Suma.
Oh, and the Suma.
I haven't had
Gotta
the
get on
Suma
the
yet.
Suma,
so,
man.
Yep. Which I think I
um,
still have one or two of those left. So yeah, we'll make sure you get some of those.
But Matt, I love the Papa Saka because that was I did like that size better. I feel like than the Saka Con.
See, I liked the Saka Con better. I thought they were both really good. Like, let me just say that first. I thought they were both great. I would still continue to smoke both of those sizes regularly all the time. The Mike Rita Black Blend is becoming a real special favorite of mine. The more I smoke it, I think it is great. I think it has passed the original Mike Rita for me. I think it goes the black, the original, and then the red. In my book, but I did like the Saka Con better. I thought that with the extra filler and the longer size, it smoked a little bit nicer for me, the way I like to taste it. In the smaller ring gauge, you get a lot more of the wrapper into it. It has a little bit more bite to it. It's a little rougher, which I don't mind. I liked it, but I felt that the Saka Con for me performed better, but I think that the smaller size was better for Nicole.
I mean, if people have been following me, I can only smoke now during naps, so I can't really have quite long cigars anymore.
So Matt
part.
Ferrotego Suma. Matt also said the new Diesel Vintage Series, which I
Okay.
think we have those. I
Okay.
think we have those because we got some of those from General.
Yeah, the Ferrotego stuff definitely, that's on my radar.
Oh yeah,
That's the next step I gotta try.
yeah. I mean, I have to say, the Suma, it really surprised me. And the first one I had, I didn't love it, and I've said it, and I said that to Mike. I said, the first one, I was like, but then I had a couple more, and I was like, all right, these are better, but and I don't know if that first one, maybe it was dry, I don't know, but or whatever it was, but I was a little nervous, but then I had a couple more, and Mike came on the show, and I smoked it again and again, and Kevin's been smoking them, and he's been raving about it.
Yeah.
And one of you guys reviewed it. Didn't Kevin review it? What do you give
Yes,
that
Kevin
cigar?
did review it.
Yeah, one of you.
Hey, if you go to smokintabacco.com, you can check out Kevin's review of the Suma. I think he did the torpedo and find out what
He did
what
do the
he gave it.
torpedo. He did do that. That's right.
Which did you announce about the website?
We have let everybody know. And that's a good point because I wanted to bring that up tonight because for those who don't know, there is a new smokintabacco.com. It's not out there yet, obviously. But I have spoken to the web developer and it's like 90% done. It's almost there. We're doing some
We're
final
in the
stuff.
home stretch.
Yeah, and so one thing I do want to say, having said that, is over the next week or two, we're going to be getting ready to transition to that new website. So bear with us, because if there are any minor hiccups, that's why. Because you're going to see a brand new website, and it's going to be. Everyone has seen it. Mitchell, you've seen it. Kevin's seen it. The only people who have seen it are the team. No one, not even Coop's seen the new website. As much as we love him, like no one, just the team, and
it is upgraded for your viewing pleasure.
oh, it is, it is, and
yes.
everyone, when I got the link to the to the private thing, so you could actually go on and see it, and I sent it to everyone, and I immediately got back, holy shit, and I was like, yeah, this is our new home. So it's going to be awesome, and we're really excited. But having said that, we are going to be doing that transitional change, which the developers have said, like, hey, it should be pretty seamless, but, of course, these things happen. So if anything comes up, anything's wonky, that's why. Bear with us. We're working on it.
Let us know, too.
Yeah,
Just let us know.
and let us know. If you find any bugs, something's not working, tell us, because it's hard to see every little detail. We might not know, so let us know when we'll make an announcement when it goes live. But
We use professionals this time.
Mhm.
I was the professional last time, not a professional. So any
Yeah.
issues with this website, it was.
this
So I apologize.
this website's gonna feel a lot more like other major news websites that you've probably seen. It's a lot more interactive. A little bit more refreshed looking than just the basic gold on the black. So that's all I'm gonna say though. That's really not giving too much away, other than it's just gonna be very, very new. But yeah,
And we're very excited for
we're
it.
very excited
Yeah.
for it. And we can't wait to show all of you how it looks. So, like I said, when it goes live, you'll all be the first to know. We'll post it, but we're almost there. We're almost there. Tonight, in addition to
Oh, we didn't go through.
oh, that's
Mitchell?
right. I'm sorry, we got so distracted.
Mitchell's now ignored.
It's all good.
Mitchell, what are you smoking?
For a special occasion like Nicole coming back, I thought I'd whip out a Gurkha Colección Especial.
Those are good.
This is really nice. It's a shade wrap, but the binder and fillers are all strong. It's got a nice Mexican Sumatra binder, and it's got some broadleaf fillers, and it's got a nice rich nuttiness and oakiness, and it's got that underlying sweetness too that I really look for in a Connecticut shade. And one of the things I dislike about a lot of Connecticut shades, and it's talked about a lot, is that kind of underlying clinging bitterness you get. And I'm well past halfway on this cigar, and none of that at all. I also decided to pair it with one of my favorite bourbons.
Ooh, E.H. Taylor.
Oh, good for you.
E.H. Taylor. So
Good for you.
I probably haven't drank this in months because we don't really get it up in Canada, and I've only got about that much left. So it's
Mitchell some E.H. Taylor.
Yeah, it's good to know.
It is occasionally here. It's starting to be stocked more often as the bourbon trend increases in Canada. Canada's starting to allocate a bit of it. When it first was released here, it was like a fully, like, you had to win it in raffles, but now we're actually starting to see it on shelves. It's just a little bit more rare. Like, I could probably search it out, but yeah, it's not cheap. I think it's over $100 a bottle here
Really?
with all of our taxes.
It's, what, like 50 or?
Well, here's the thing. Here, with a lot of the Buffalo Trace stuff, it can be tricky to find. It depends, because here a lot of it's governed state by state. So like New Hampshire is a controlled liquor state, so everything goes through the state of New Hampshire. The state of New Hampshire has all their own liquor stores. So if you want liquor in New Hampshire, you go to the New Hampshire liquor outlet, and there's like hundreds of stores, but they're all owned by the state. Now, when they get Buffalo Trace products in, a lot of the times they hold it for their raffles, which are free to enter. You get randomly selected. You get to buy it at MSRP. That bottle's like a $35, $40 bottle, I think. Maybe like 40 to 50, actually. I think it's like 40 to 50. Massachusetts is like the Wild West. So, there's some stores that'll get one or two bottles of that, and they'll ask like $150, $200 for it. But then you can go to some stores, especially bigger stores, or even like Total Wine. Like Total Wine will have it once in a while when they get it, if they put it on the shelf. And they put it on the shelf, it'll be MSRP, but they'll put 6 out. They'll get like 4 cases, and they'll put 6 bottles on the shelf one day, and they'll be gone in an hour. And then they'll wait, and then like 2 weeks later, they'll put like another 6 out. And like Wegmans does it. It's very weird how the bourbon works down here. It's very weird. So
here's the thing: we're also liquor controlled, and again, over $100 sounds like a lot, but the way our taxes work. So imagine it's $50 for you guys. Well, $50 American to Canadian is probably that instantly right there is probably $70, $75.
Well, I just sent you 100 US, and it did the auto conversion, and it was 128 Canadian.
Yeah. And so, you're looking at, with the dollar conversion plus state tax, and then our state tax or provincial tax actually just increased on alcohol, I think by like another 9% or something.
Yeah, what's the tax percent on alcohol?
Oh, it's something ridiculous. I don't even know at this point. It just goes up like every 2 years. You're looking at like $100. So it's like it's pretty average. Like, I think like you guys get Wild Turkey for like 101 for like $12 or $15, like no more than 20. I think it's almost a $40 bottle.
It's not that cheap. But
well,
it's not that cheap, but it's
But that's a good
like
point. It depends on
$25-30.
where it's sold. So like, even though if you buy the liquor in New Hampshire, you're not paying. Do they have a liquor tax? Wait.
No.
Yeah. No,
because all of the sales, all the profit from it goes right to the state anyway. So there is no tax on alcohol.
Yeah, so they don't have liquor tax, but then in Mass we have liquor tax. And Mike just made this comment too. Buffalo Trace in Chicago can be found, but at a price. And that's exactly what happens here. Like we have like liquor delivery services like Drizzly, and so we can look at prices at what.
Yeah, Matt said the same thing.
Yeah.
Bourbon market in Minnesota is garbage. Low selection hybrid. So here's the
Yeah.
thing. There's a range with a lot of it.
Yeah.
Especially Buffalo Trace being the most well-known distillery, and they have the biggest portfolio of brands. So let me give you an example. So like E.H. Taylor, that's a small batch, right? So the E.H. Taylor, the small batch, Blanton's, Weller Special Reserve, or the green bottle, for those who might not know, those can be found. If you dig around hard enough, you'll find it, and it won't hurt too much. You can find it. If you keep your eyes open.
You say that, but the MSRP on that Weller Green, right, is between 25 and 30, and people are selling it like 60 to 80.
True.
So
True, but
it doesn't hurt, but it's still way more than.
But there's more
MSRP.
allocations of like Special Reserve, the original Blantons, the E.H. Taylor small batch, Buffalo Trace itself, Eagle Rare. It's like, for example, like Eagle Rare. You can find
Rare,
Eagle.
yeah.
Like you go to any liquor store in Massachusetts, you'll find Eagle Rare sitting on the shelf in plenty of quantity. Like you can buy it by the truckload if you want to here. Now, what's interesting is there's this, anyone who's been around will tell you, who's into bourbon. You always hear people say, well, if you go to Ohio, they got Weller Special Reserve and 107 sitting on the shelf just everywhere you go. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I've heard a lot of people say to me. But then they also say, like, oh, man, like, I don't know how to find Eagle Rare. But if you go to liquor stores here, I mean, there's Eagle Rare everywhere. I mean, I can buy Eagle Rare for people by the case if I want to. So it is weird. It's different
but I'm
how
sure
it gets
it's the
distributed.
taste of the community as well and what people.
Yeah,
there
so
are
like
drinking,
it's
so.
strange how they allocate. But remember, they also have such a big portfolio that's kind of like entry level. Then you go up to like Weller Full Proof. And you go to like some of the other rare Blantons, like the Straight from the Barrel, the E.H. Taylor Bottled and Bond, the Stag Junior, which is now just Stag. And I would say that's like the second tier. And those are a little bit more trickier to find, and more often you're going to see them at pretty inflated prices. Then you got like tier 3, and that's BTAC, otherwise known as the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, George T. Stagg, Thomas H. Handy, and the Pappy Van Winkle, which I would say are probably the most premier lines. Those are the only ones that, I mean, are still pretty impossible to find. The BTAC a little bit more. I mean, usually you'll see stores get 1 or 2 bottles of George T. and Thomas H. Handy. And they'll still be asking a lot for them, but you'll see them. You almost never see like William LaRue or the Eagle Rare 17. If you see Van Winkle, you see the old Rip 10, maybe the Van Winkle 12, but the actual like PVW, like the 15, the 20, like, yeah, you don't see that. You don't see that unless it's a raffle. So like some stores will sell raffle tickets, some do it based on sales, and then New Hampshire, you just enter for all of it, and they'll pick you for Blanton's, or they'll pick you for a Pappy Van Winkle. It's all just like one big thing. Your cousin Mark keeps trying to call me. What's he watching? Ooh.
Mac.
No.
So my cousin just texted him and he's like, "Do you want crumble cookies?" And the answer is no.
Sorry, Mark.
Which is like a big cookie.
Yeah.
You probably don't have them in Canada, Mitchell, but it's a cookie chain.
Yeah.
Franchise
I think we talked about this actually a few
They're like
months ago about
yay
the crumble
big.
cookie. Yeah, I looked him up.
One cookie is 4 servings.
Yeah, they're
regular
good, but they're,
servings.
it's good once in a while, but like you can't do it on the rig. You just can't. It's just too much. But anyway, yeah. So that's just kind of how it shakes out here
There you
in
go.
terms of bourbon.
Do you know what I really want to know? Nicole, did you whip out your special lighter for today?
I actually have a lot because I have quite a few
We have a lot of
Dupont
stuff.
pieces. So I brought multiple out. And actually, isn't this someone Mitchell's getting? Is he getting the brushed copper?
I think he is getting
So
that
Mitchell,
one.
I have the lighter that you are getting.
I think that is the lighter you're getting.
So
But our cutting and lighting is brought to you by our very good friends at ST Dupont. ST Dupont, you wanted the best, you got the best. Be exceptional, ST Dupont. yeah, I got my Line 2, my Maxi Jet, and courtesy of our friends at ST Dupont and Coles of London. Shout out to them, who distributes ST Dupont. I think it's important to note, too. Coles of London, if you don't know who they are the distributor for ST Dupont in the United States. Great company, great people. I just want to give a huge shout out to them, and really excited to be involved with them. But they also sent us this beautiful Defi Extreme. Now, the Defi Extreme, if you haven't seen this one yet, it's a twin jet lighter. Let me turn it up, actually, just so you can see the flame a little bit more. Twin jet lighter. Very sturdy, very firm. A little bit of weight to it. This is a nice torch lighter. Side trigger, just like the Maxi Jet. So the Maxi Jet, you have your chrome side trigger right here. This one, it's right here as well, right on the side. A little bit more of a bang when it actually triggers, though. It's actually kind of badass. But the other thing, too, is what I like on the Maxi Jet, you have like the little fuel window, which you really can't see. And I don't want to unfocus the camera, but it's like this little window, like right here. This window, the whole side of the lighter.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's all glass right there. You can see all the fuel all the way up. It's pretty badass. You can easily tell how much fuel is in it. This is amazing. This is the Navy.
It's like it holds a buttload too.
It does. It does hold a pretty good amount. Easy to adjust. So on the Maxi Jet, you have like that little screw in the bottom to adjust, but you almost need like a screwdriver. If you have like a long enough nail, you can twist it. So not bad, but definitely easier to adjust on the Defi Extreme. You get this giant knob here that you can twist and spin pretty easily. Now this is the brand new. This is the matte finish navy blue, which I believe is exclusive to the United States, and this has an MSRP of $315, which I know some people might say is a little high, but for the money, you get what you pay for. As
I said before. Every time you pretty much click that thing, there is a perfect, solid flame coming out. It's like there's sometimes where I'm just sitting there clicking lighters, and then you're like, oh, it clicked finally. You just you don't want that.
I've had this conversation with a lot of people in the industry, and even Carney. We've talked about this a lot about hey, like lighters just don't last. And I have to tell you, and I'm sure there's people out there who've had issues with Duponts and stuff, and everyone has some kind of issue with something at some point. But it's rare, and with the Dupont, I've never really had any issues. Nothing major. And I don't really hear about a lot of issues with them either. And, you get what you pay for. I mean, you get quality. I mean, these lighters are handmade. They're rock solid. They light every time. They never backspark, which if you don't know what that is, inside of a lighter, when you look inside the head where the jets are, when you go to ignite and trigger, you'll see the little arc inside there. And what can happen, and especially like a lower quality or a lower quality made lighter, it won't light. Like you'll be triggering it, and it won't light. It'll click. You'll see the spark, but it won't light. There's gas in there. You hear the gas coming out. And what happens sometimes is that little probe can get just misaligned, and the spark will actually spark back and away from the flame. It won't actually ignite the gas. And that's something you have to go in and fix. Sometimes you just need to replace the lighter. Those who know about it, who've dealt with it, it can be a pain in the ass. Shit like that you never have with a Dupont. I've never seen it. I've never experienced it. So it's little stuff like that that makes them just so fantastic. And Nicole, I know you have your little lineup there of some stuff that you have.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Mega Jet, which I love, and the Brush Copper, which, like I said, I think, Mitchell, you have one of these coming your way. So, I really like this.
Flat flame.
It is.
It is a flat flame. I really like it just because you don't have to fill it every 5 seconds. I also have the Mini Jet and Brush Copper as well. And that one's small. I like it because I can put it in a purse, but that's girl problems, right? It's very tiny.
Hey, I have a purse.
Well, no, but I feel like that one you have to fill just, I don't know, just every once in a while. So, depending on how often that you're using it. So,
when I'm going out, I always try to have a nice small lighter, like I throw in my breast pocket, jacket pocket, or something. And yeah, like, some of those lighters, amazing. You put them on your at-home table. They're beautiful to look at. They're at home. But yeah, you definitely need some of those mini series that are nice to travel with. You're going out for a nice dinner and you want to have a nice lighter after and smoke a cigar. And maybe the place will let you smoke it there. Or maybe you just find a lounge after. But
I know some people collect them, but hey, my philosophy is you should be using. Why are you going to buy an expensive lighter and not use it?
Exactly.
So, and as I say that, I do have my fancy Dupont that I do store it in my box when I'm not using it, but I do use it very often. And this is a special line too that came out at the trade show last year. So, we're doing a little bit of a ST Dupont showcase for our friends there. But this one, it was one of 200. No, it was a two
I
or
believe
500.
I believe that was 150 pieces.
150.
Yeah.
So this is the Stardust line
Gold
two.
dust.
Gold Stardust. Mom brain. Sorry. Gold dust, and it's essentially black with glitter. Like it's a black lacquer.
this looks like a starry night.
Yeah.
So what this is, this lighter, all the line 2s are handmade. The lacquer is a Chinese lacquer that's hand placed. There's multiple layers. When they go in, I have mine, which also it says, it's not a gold dust. It has the same lacquer though. The lacquer process is very intricate, and when they were doing the process, the flakes that you actually see in there are flakes of gold. Those are gold, actual dust flakes, and they are hand placed in the lacquer as it's being applied and made and manufactured. So they'll all have a very different pattern. I mean, they all look pretty similar, but none of them are identical. They're all very different.
And this one's special too because it was a it's not a first production, it's a reproduction.
Yeah,
Because they
there
did
was
come
a
out with this style
there-
quite a few years ago.
There was another gold dust. That's true.
Yeah.
I believe
It-
the last gold dust was the original line 1 lighter, but I don't think it was a line 2. I think it was a line 1, if I remember correctly. And Les Man is usually watching the show with us. I don't know if he's here though. He would have to clarify that for me because when it comes to Dupont, I mean, Les Man is the genius.
He's the man.
He's the man. Les
The man.
Man's the man.
You know what's so funny? It's kind of off topic, but every time you say gold dust, it just reminds me of that WWF fighter Gold Dust. I don't know if you guys are
I don't, because I don't
wrestling
follow
fans?
wrestling, but
Dude.
someone else here might be able to answer that question because she's
Gold
I haven't
Dust
watched it. I haven't watched
was
it in a
one of-
while, but
she's
He
a
was one of
closeted
the
wrestling fan.
weirdest dude. I used to play a lot of on the N64, like a lot of WWF, SmackDown, and Raw, and
I remember that
I
too.
I watched a bit of it. I watched a bit of it as a kid too.
Man, you're going back like
it's-
25 years. I remember
Yeah, exactly. Sleepovers and N64 all day.
that. The blue
Um,
cartridge, the red cartridge.
Yeah, dude, colored cartridges, man. It's genius. But yeah, every time you say Gold Dust, it reminds me of that guy. And if you Google him, you'll be like, wow, that is quite a specimen of a person. 'Cause he's weird, man. He's weird.
I mean, they're all weird. It's obviously.
are.
I mean, it's scripted.
Yes,
But
yeah. It's
it's scripted. But
Do you guys remember when
Who's-
Hulk
who's your
Hogan had
favorite-
his own reality show? And which reality show is a bunch of bullshit anyway. But I always thought it was funny. When there was this one episode when they had someone at their house. I don't know. He was doing some work at the house. He got into a fight with whatever his real name is, but fucking Hulk Hogan. And he said something to him about wrestling being fake. And he's like, "How dare you come into my house and you fucking accuse wrestling being fake?
Well-
That's bullshit." And everyone's just like, "It is though." Like, what the fuck?
Here's the thing: is like, I think for them, they don't ever sell it like it's necessarily something that's like it's them really doing things, right? Like they're really jumping off ropes and they're
Right,
putting their
right.
bodies on the line. And when people say it's like fake, they're like, well, we're really doing these stunts. I guess
the
I don't know if
narrative.
WWE
The storyline
or
is fake,
Yeah.
it's the narrative.
and the outcomes are
Yeah,
predetermined.
exactly. Yes. Yeah, which I guess they just don't really ever say like, yeah, it's not that, like it's an
Well,
entertainment based thing, but
They
I don't
were
know, you know,
actually
you could-
trying to go after sports betting. And
Yeah,
that got
I
shot
wonder if that
down.
actually
So I
went
don't know
through.
if that. No, I don't think it did because if it's scripted and there's predicted outcomes, how can there be legal
were-
betting on it?
so part of that was they were saying that only a very very select few people know the outcome. Obviously, the people in the ring, and then maybe like what supposed to be one or two other
Vince
people. So they
McMahon.
they tried to get through, but yeah, and it's even debatable to say, I don't know if you guys watch any like the YouTube boxing fights, but it's like, those pretty much look pretty scripted nowadays too.
Well, they gotta get the drama in.
Yeah.
Everyone has all these elaborate backstories and why they hate each other and pouring shit
Yep.
on each other, and
Some people think the NFL scripted now too, so
that's true.
Hey,
Some
there's
days.
been some
It's all
strange.
it's all,
There's been
it's all
some
the
strange,
refs.
some
It's all the
strange
refs and
games
it's
out
scripted
there.
NFL. Just saying.
Yeah, there's been some strange games. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think that there's definitely heavily influenced by the officials on certain calls. Because I mean, just some
I
games,
think
man.
I think part of it is just humans make mistakes, and the winning team is always going to turn their eye to it, and the losing team is always going to nitpick every little thing, and that's just human nature.
That's
And
true too.
you have humans making mistakes, and then you have people overanalyzing it. You take any game at any given time in the season, and those exact same mistakes happen all the time, and then you put it into the most high pressure situations of the year, and those little things are magnified tenfold, right? So I think that's part of it, and then people believe that there's some underlying narrative for the NFL to make billions of dollars, and so yeah, that's the world we live in.
Yeah, it is. But anyway, back to this.
Back to cigars. This
Do you know?
Macalif
Do you
Black
know
is
what?
still really good.
Do you know what ST Dupont? I am super excited to see is those ones that smoke in for the Tatuaje, uh, Anarchy
Oh, the
deal and
NFT
wherever else they
ones.
went, the NFT ones.
Yeah.
Those some of those graphics, like I really wonder how they're going to translate onto the lighters and stuff like that, because some of those are friggin' awesome
Well, you
looking,
saw it
like
at the show.
really
They
cool.
had it in the
Yeah, we
display.
saw one of them, but they didn't have all seven, right? They didn't.
No.
Yeah, so it'll be really interesting to see how many of them end up like getting into the hands of people, or how many people on in terms of like stores that got it, how many of them like post these online and show people what they really look like, because those are one of ones.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
curious
it's true.
if some of them do retail them. That would be curious,
Yeah,
and how much they would
So-
go
maybe
for.
no one will ever see them.
Or
So two of them went to unicornsmokes.com. Also, Alex Martinez, shout out, who owns NFTs 1 and 2 from LFD. I think Alex and Rob, who are partners together, I believe. I think Alex got one, Rob got one, but they're both going on the same website. I don't remember which ones they got, but I do know that on their website where they have their NFTs, it's unicornsmokes.com. I believe, actually, Mitchell, was it you who sent me this? So I thought someone sent this to me. They actually have the utility kit, which is the humidor, the cutters, the lighters, the artwork, all the extra stuff that's not the cigars. For those two NFTs, they already have them on their website for $40,000. So for $40,000, you can buy all of the other pieces of each one of those other two that they own. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's what it, unless they've changed it. When someone sent it to me and I saw it, I go, oh shit, wow. And they had them listed. So for $40,000, you can have all those pieces, including that ST Dupont lighter.
Well, but then the other thing I think of is some people put together these beautiful displays who had won the LFD NFT.
Oh
right?
yes.
So they had them in like these glass domes, and every piece of it's on display with that golden humidor that they had with it.
Yes.
So I'm curious to know if some of these people who are not selling it do a display in their store for the retailers who purchased it,
And I think that's
with
what-
all of the pieces to kind of bring to have more of just a display piece made out of it.
And I think I think Abe is doing that with. I think it's going to be placed in the vintage room, or
That's what he says. Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's what he's going to do. It's going to have its own display. The other person that comes to mind who I think could really enshrine it would be Jay Davis, because
course.
Jay has one as well.
Do you know what I would do if it was me? I would take the because they get the digital artwork. They could blow that up and make more of like a thing out of it, right?
Yeah.
They do that since
Like
they
a
own the
backdrop.
digital. Yeah, well, not like a backdrop, but just like a bigger framed piece to make more of a display. Like, because as a consumer, I would be interested in seeing the artwork too. Like, you can look at it at the tiny little lighter, but like I kind of want to see it on a more of
They
a
are
piece.
they are getting a printed. I forget how big the canvas is, but they are getting a big
Okay.
printed
I mean,
canvas.
from the
I'm
trade
talking
show,
like
from the trade show, that the print you're talking about, I think is like a standard poster size, like a 24 by 36.
Yeah.
Which I
Something bigger
think
would be pretty cool.
which is what they do get. But I know what Nicole's talking about, and I'm sure that each owner of that NFT, I don't know how it officially, I use that word heavily, the official part of the transaction and ownership. I don't know how it works, but I mean, essentially, an NFT at its core is still a piece of artwork that you're buying. So I assume that
You
they'd
own the
also
rights
be
to those.
entitled to the original artwork file. So you
Yep.
really could do anything you wanted with it. So you
Yeah.
could take it, have it blown up, make it into like a wall spread or whatever you
Yeah.
want to do. I mean, you own that NFT, so, and you get an art file. So
well,
yeah, why
'cause
not?
it's just not a cigar I feel like you slop in the corner of your shop. So like,
Definitely
without a display or anything like that. So I guess I'm curious to see how how creative people get with that display.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know. I don't think they've shipped them out yet. I think Abe said they were gonna try to get them to the owners by like October. But I don't think anyone has them yet. I know
I'm
Abe,
sure
I know
there will
Abe
be a
has them.
hubbub on the Book of Faces
Yeah.
when they go live.
I know
For
that
sale.
I know that Abe has them all. Because I'm pretty sure he said that during the auctions that they have them. But I don't think they've dished them out yet. And I think part of it also is, I think there's some other pieces that have to come into play with, securing the ownership for each one and all that.
Making sure people paid.
Yeah, making sure people paid and all that. But I believe Abe has them, so I assume that once they get that sorted out, they'll get those to those people pretty quickly. And then from there we'll find out. We'll find out what people are selling them for. Everyone's gonna probably do something similar but different.
Ooh, we could play a guessing game too. How much do you think people are going to charge per
I
cigar
think
for
Abe.
this?
I think Abe had already said he's gonna charge $100 per cigar.
It's probably
Okay.
$100.
I think Abe had said that because something sticks into my mind, like $100 per cigar. And I think Abe
I think
had
some
already
people might
said
reach
that.
to 250.
You think it'll be up to 250?
I could see that. I could
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Especially with modern day pricing, I think some people might reach for 250 and work from there.
Well, what's been the
maybe-
highest price on the bull?
Well, the thing I was just gonna say is
Not that I
different-
want to compare them because they're different, but like
They are different, but they're
like,
also pretty similar in the way they were executed. So it's kind of hard not to. But I will say that the difference between the LFD one and the Tatuaje one is the LFD one. I believe it's every month you get. Is it 15 boxes or something like that? And the other one, the one that Abe did, I believe it's roughly the same number, but it's only once a quarter. So when you do the math, you actually get less of them per year. So I wonder if that affects availability, rarity, price, and all that. Something to take into consideration
go.
as well.
well, and I'm sure they're going to want to be competitive with each other. So that's what I'm curious to know is who,
Right.
if people are selling them online and things like that. So.
Right.
But you're right. I'd say at least $100.
Oh, yeah,
a
no
cig
less
at
than 100.
least.
Yeah, I don't think any less than 100. Yeah, for sure.
And is it going to be a $100 worthy cigar? And that is the real question.
Always is.
They have good track record, but that's all with very expensive cigars. Is it worth what it costs?
We'll find out.
I know we gotta smoke it and find out, right? But
Yeah, we'll find out.
that's the reality.
We
But
know a couple of people who have access to them.
Yeah.
Especially
Have to buy
our good friends at Smokin and
I'd buy one just to try it.
our very special friend in Dallas,
Yeah.
Jay Davis.
Yeah.
Who we love very much. Just want to say that.
Yeah.
Jay, if you're out
Absolutely.
there listening. Although Jay doesn't usually watch this show live. I know he listens and watches the show,
I think it's a
but he
bit
doesn't do
early
it
for him.
live. Yeah, it's usually the Spare Note show because it's later on a Saturday and he's around. So I don't expect to see him here tonight. But I know he
I'm
has.
sure he's having a great family dinner right now.
No, he's probably in his store right now, if anything. That's my guess. I think he's
too.
in his store. He just got back. He was
He's
traveling.
he's cleaning up after Coop.
Yeah, he had Coop visit. He was.
Oh, that's
playing
right. He had Coop
host to
visit.
Coop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm
He's
sure
gotta
they.
clean up.
He went
They
to
were
the
like-
Clean up the mess
McAuliffe
Coop
open
left.
house. that happened this
Yeah,
past weekend.
that's
Shout
true.
out. I don't know if anyone here. I know we have some McAuliffe people in the audience. I don't know
Yeah,
if anyone went
anyone
to the open
watching the
house.
show right now, were you at the McAuliffe open house? Just curious. Um, yeah, I talked to Coop yesterday, 2 days ago. He called me, and he was still on his way back, and he was telling me he kind of extended his little road trip, and
Trip across
Lisa
America.
let him.
Lisa let
him
Le-
extend
Oh,
his road
He's
trip.
like, well,
The
Lisa
devil.
called me, and so he made a little more of a trip on it.
Coop, I heard.
Yeah,
that.
yeah. See, he's like Beetlejuice. You just say his name too many times, and he just shows up. But yeah, no,
Hey, man, I saw you partying out there, Coop. You know, you were tearing up a storm.
I will say,
Tearing up a
but he
storm.
did. He called me and he was telling me about kind of all about Texas and the open house and some of the stuff he's doing. And I know he had a great time, but he also anyone who follows him on Facebook too, he's been posting a lot. But he was in Tennessee, he was in Memphis, and he's been having a great time. I think he's almost home now. So, because I spoke to him today and I thought he had said he was going to be home late. So, I assume that he's either home now or he's maybe stopped somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. And he doesn't have to tell us either. But anyway, I know he was traveling, and I forget he had this hashtag going. It was, what was it? Something about was it traveling across America or something like that? And that was like his little hashtag. I thought it was cool. I liked that.
Yep.
He
'Cause
said
Coop,
still on the road.
yeah. So other than Coop, Coop does a lot of driving when he travels. A lot of times, we like to make jokes and stuff about how often he goes to Miami, but a lot of times he drives to Miami. He doesn't regularly fly there. So Coop's one of those people that, and he drove all the way out to Texas and he drove his way back. So Coop's like a road trip guy. If you ever need a good road trip guy, I mean, Coop's like the guy to ask because he loves doing it. He does it all the time.
His tagline has been "Wandering across America."
Yeah, I liked it. I remember I was like, oh yeah,
Wandering
wandering
across
across. Yeah, I like that. I thought that was
Featuring-
really clever.
William Cooper.
I know he went to Whataburger because it's Coop driving across country. He's got to go to Whataburger, but he also
Hold on. When Coop officially retires, he should start another website, which he's probably like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. But of just his travels, because he goes so many places.
No, you know what Coop should do? Coop should, when Coop's done, if he's ever done with the cigar business, not that I want him to leave, but if he ever, if he ever got to that point in his life, he's like, you know what, like I've done this for 20 years, I'm older now, I want to kind of do something different. I don't think he should leave the blogosphere. I think that he should just transition
think he
into
ever
another
will.
topic. And I think that
Food.
he should be a food blogger. I'm telling you, man, I think that he would be I'm not fucking around either. I think Coop would be a very successful food blogger. I think he would be great at it. And I think that he would be just as if not even more successful doing food blogging than with cigars. Not that he's great with cigars, but I know how he is with food, and I think he'd be pretty good at it. So that's my thing. Did he go to Costco again for the hot dog special? Coop has no taste when it comes to Costco. Let's not get into that. And I know he's
He said
listening,
hot
so
dog
let's
was
not get
decent.
him going.
He said
You
the hot
know.
dog was decent.
He did, and I had one of the Costco hot dogs the other day. We had a family
I have
outing.
to disagree. Yeah, I have to disagree because the pizza's really
You know
good.
what? I
Coop
think
shat all
I
over the
think-
pizza.
I think the consistency of how the pizza is made between locations seems to be quite different because even the way his pizza looked does not look like the way the pizza's made up here, or even the way I've seen you guys post pizza. So
Yeah.
I think that's like a, I
Right.
think that's like a definitely an issue with Costco in terms of regionality. But the hot dog is very consistent. I've had hot dogs from Costco all
You know what his
over.
complaint was though? It was that it wasn't, I think, cooked enough. It was kind of.
He said
He
it was
felt that it was
floppy.
he felt that it was more undercooked and it was softer and
Yeah.
floppy and
And I think that's what it is because the rest of their pizza production is automated. They do the same
Yeah.
thing at every location. So the only like inconsistency I can think of is that it was a busy time and they were just pumping them out and they didn't cook it
Yeah.
long enough.
although I would like to, and I know, and because I know he's here and I know he's listening, I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna challenge.
Oh.
I'm gonna challenge Coop to another Costco food test because there's a new food item
Hmm.
in the Costco food court, at least in the United States. I don't know. I think the menu's slightly different in other countries, so Mitchell, it might even be a
Yeah.
little different. For you. Like I think you guys still get the hot dogs and the pizza and like that stuff, but like there's
Yeah.
some secondary items that like do you guys have the chicken bake?
No.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
like
know
we
what that
we have like the chicken bake pocket. But they recently introduced a roast beef sandwich at the Costco food court here in the United States. And if they have that at the one in North Carolina where Coop lives, I officially challenge Coop to go and try the roast beef sandwich at Costco and give me a review. And I will do the same, as I haven't had it yet. And I doubt he has.
Now-
and we can
now
do this
we used-
together. Brand new out of the gate. We'll see who wins.
I think we used to get this turkey provolone sandwich at Costco, but we don't get it
Did
anymore.
we used to have that?
We did have that pre-COVID, and then they did not bring
Yeah, it's
that
gone
back.
now.
But they brought back.
Was that the
The
one on the
roast
little
beef.
like ciabatta roll?
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
all the-
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I've
good.
had that. It was good. It was like a
It was
melt,
good.
right? It was warm. It was like it would
Yeah.
be the cheese would be, yeah. That was
That
good.
was good, man. That was good.
That was good.
No, what? You know what? I think we get that you guys don't get is
Poutine.
we actually get two versions of the hot dog. We get the all beef, and then we get the what's it called?
Like
I just
Nicole
had it in my
Nicole
head.
lived in England, and there is Costco in England, and I remember her showing me the British menu for Costco. It's very different.
Shepherd's pie or
Like I don't even,
cottage
do they even
pie.
have the pizza there?
They have jacket potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacket potatoes.
They have jacket potatoes.
They have a beef bulgogi bake instead of a chicken bake, which sounds really
Which,
good.
by the way, if you ever like not want to shit for like 3 days, have a jacket potato, because I think it's gonna stuff you and it's gonna stay in there, and you're gonna just walking around for like 2 days and be like, damn, I shouldn't have eaten that, but it was good. I mean, a baked potato, and then it's loaded on with more stuff, and you eat the whole thing. Yeah, you ain't moving anything
Mike,
for a
no
while.
chicken bake in Costco here. What?
What? Mike, I thought they were pretty universal in the U.S.
Yeah, I thought they were at every location.
You have no chicken bakes?
Hmm.
Come on. It's like one of the best things there. I will say, though, the churros have slacked. When I was a kid, the churros were sweet and they were soft. Now they're like kind of firm. I don't want to say
we get the-
crispy. Like just firm. And they're not as sweet. They're just like all cinnamon. There's like no sugar to them.
And they switched the smoothie from berry to mango.
Yeah.
We get the Polish sausage.
Oh, see, I like that. We don't have that, but I like that. I
Yeah,
would do that.
I think it's got like slightly different spices. It's got a little bit more spice to it. I think they had like extra paprika in there.
Well, that's what Bruce was saying. They used to have a Polish sausage. Because I remember they used to have a
Yeah, that's
sausage.
what-
Yeah,
But we
That's what
don't.
we have.
We don't
we
have
have
it
that still.
anymore.
not anymore.
But they have it in Canada.
Hmm
It's weird how this all works.
And we get poutine too.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't we get fries or chicken or I don't know.
Oh, you guys don't get fries at all?
No.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
right?
We do.
No
We do chicken.
fries.
Do you get chicken strips with fries?
No,
No.
no
no.
chicken
See,
strips.
I would.
Oh, we
would
get
go-
chicken strips with fries and 3 different dips.
Oh, I see. I would get that, and then I'd walk around the store and
It's
I would
like
just eat
$5.
It's
like
just
5
a
or
pizza,
$6.
and they used to have the Supreme pizza with all the veggies on it. They only do pepperoni and cheese now.
Yeah, we just got the
it.
pepper
Are you
cheese,
sure?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they have the Supreme Pizza.
No, they don't.
They don't?
They
Maybe
don't.
it's
Oh
on
no, they
special
only have
order.
they have cheese and pepperoni.
Only now. They really cut down after it, and they just like haven't put it all back. I don't know. Come
Now,
on, did they not
in
get the
terms of-
memo? COVID, it's 3
In
years
terms
ago.
of Costco condiments, back in the day, we used to have like all the fresh condiments, like onions, banana peppers that you could scoop out and stuff like that. I don't know. There's a few other things. Now they just do ketchup, mustard, relish in
Yeah,
the pump.
you're right.
And
Because I remember I remember
occasionally-
the onion thing that you'd twist it and the
Yeah.
onions would come out. We used to have. They don't have that anymore.
No, they just
Yeah.
started doing onions again.
Oh, they did.
So
Yeah, but they're not-
occasionally now they'll come in little plastic tins that they'll serve. But yeah,
like on the side,
for
like
the
out
onions.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I used to like the banana peppers. Those were really nice.
Bruce had asked for onions, so apparently, if they don't have the dispenser, you can still get them. So
They
Mitchell's
just
right.
started
Yeah,
doing the
yeah.
onions again a few months ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, just ask for them. That's
They just-
key.
Yeah.
Onions, relish, mustard is my go-to. Maybe a squirt of ketchup. You know the whole ketchup debate. I know ketchup on hot dogs. Oh my god.
I put only
um,
exclusively ketchup on my hot dog.
There you go. See, that's how it is. But yeah, that
I know.
I love onions. And I go to a hot dog stand by my work now. Sometimes it's not $1.50, but they do grilled onions with your hot dog. And again, I didn't know this was a thing, but you guys don't often toast your buns.
I like my buns toasted.
I love
I
a toasted
enjoy
bun.
it,
He
but
doesn't.
like No, I like it. I won't take the time to do it at home because I'm just like whatever.
Yeah, toast.
Um, but if I go to a place and that's how they serve it, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But like, I
Yeah.
won't go on my way to toast
I
it.
like everything mostly burnt. That's like really.
Yeah, her family likes things burnt. I noticed.
That's
I like it.
I feel like
crispy.
that's an English thing.
No, just
No, because like
crispy.
her dad, like when her dad cooks stuff on the grill, like he likes it like more char. Like
Mm.
he'll char steaks, like not like bad, but enough where I'm like, this isn't for me.
Well, I'm not saying steak, but I like things just more.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a good example. Usually the things that come off the grill are
Anyway,
on the I don't want to say blacker side, but there's a lot more char to them.
we should get to news.
We should. Let's get to the news. Our news is once again brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars, featuring the new McAuliffe Black. That's right, rated 91 at SmokinTabacco.com by Kevin Acuff. Head over there now to read the review and check out why it got a 91. McAuliffe Black, it's a blackout. This week, we got an interesting story. So, Selected Tobacco, which I think a lot of people are familiar with, Byron Atabey, Bandolero, Alfonso, Nelson coming soon. Especially anyone who's seen our trade show coverage or you've seen some of my personal photos, there are ashtrays that Nelson has designed, but they're not very available. I think there is an Atabey one that was circulated, but there's not a lot of them made. I have a couple of them myself. They're like elongated, and you like rest the cigar on the end of it.
I can put these ones up on screen.
Yeah, put those ones up. I'll have
Yeah.
to show you sometime. There's also Alfonso ashtrays, which I don't think are circulated, but I know that they've been on display at the shows and stuff, so I'm sure at some point. But we also have seen Byron ashtrays, and United Cigars released a press release this week saying that Selected has released their Byron porcelain ashtrays, and I was excited because I was like, damn, I'm like, we've seen these. We've seen what Nelson can do with other stuff with his packaging, but also with ashtrays and accessories. And you talk about cigars like that, and to have the beautiful ashtrays that pair with them. I mean, it's when you're talking about the cigars at that level, these ashtrays are amazing. And quite beautiful, and they are available. Renowned artist and blender of Selected Tobacco, Nelson Alfonso, has once again pushed the boundaries of creativity and craftsmanship with his latest creation, 3 stunning porcelain ashtrays, each uniquely designed to pay homage to the timeless beauty of the tobacco plant's flower. Sorry, I thought I had
It
a...
must be the shape.
These luxurious ashtrays are presented in designer boxes and are inspired by the rich history of the Byron cigar line. And yeah, Nicole has the image up on screen. You can see them. They are amazing. Amazing. Just beautiful ashtrays. If you're interested in these, they're probably going to be on twoguyscigars.com. So you can head over there and find them. But also, if you don't want to order it, head over to your local United Cigar retailer who carries Atabey and Byron.
They will probably have them, more than likely.
They'll probably have them. If they don't, they might be able to order them for you. I don't know 100%. But
And I think the MSRP is what, $250, if I remember correctly. Yeah, $250.
yes, $250 per ashtray. But these are nice. I mean, I like I said, I own a couple of Nelson's ashtrays myself, and like I've seen them, I've used them. I mean, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
And they're worth it if you are an accessory person.
Yeah.
Not everyone is, some people would rather just spend all their money on the cigars and not have the accessories. But if you are an accessories person, they're very high quality.
Yes, very high quality, very detailed. Very detailed. And what I will say is, while we're on this topic, a lot of people have, basic ashtrays that they use, plastic ones, or if you use I use the stinky ashtray out here just because I smoke so much, and I like how.
And I like
much
my
can hold.
silicone one outside because I'm afraid of dropping and
Yep.
breaking nice ashtrays outside.
Yep.
So
But we do have a pretty vast collection of nice porcelain ashtrays that, we just don't use them all the time because, a lot of the times we just don't need to.
well,
But
and also when we expand our fortress, we'll have a smoking room.
That's true. That's true. But even then, I mean, we got a lot of them. I have one over here. I have a Fuente one. I have like yellow, the round yellow Fuente one in the box. It's been in the studio in the box for a while now, and I love it, and they're beautiful. But one of the things I will say though is when you use those ashtrays, and if you use them regularly, you'll notice a lot of them have like you can see on like some of the Byron ones, they have the gold on them. Another detail. Just know that you want to, when you wash them and you care for them, you want to do it very carefully and gently, and you don't really want to scrub them too hard. And
Sponge, not.
Yeah, you don't.
Not the
because that
gritty
those
parts.
details will wear away, because it is glass and that's all on the surface, and they will wear over time. So
Hand wash only.
Yeah, hand wash them gently. Don't put them in the dishwasher. Whatever you do, I bring this up because people have literally told me that they've done it, or they've asked me if they can do it, and I go, no. If it's like a silicone one, or if it's a stinky, like I still
if it
wouldn't
doesn't
recommend
have a
it.
finish.
But yeah,
it
you
should
could
be
put it in there,
fine.
and it would, it's fine. But like something like that, don't do that, because you will wear away some of those details, and then you'll just have the shape of the ashtray someday, and all the finish will be gone, and it'll just be nothing. So don't do that. That's
a memory.
Yeah, it'll just be a memory. So that's my only advice I can pass along. But other than that, those are amazing ashtrays. They're beautiful. I think they're shipping now. These porcelain ashtrays are now available for purchase and can be found. Yes, so they are available now. They are limited availability though, so there's not a bunch of them. So if you do want one, act fast, because there's not many of them around, and I'm sure many of them will go quickly. But that's going to be our news for this week. Brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars.
Yeah, there's not. We love the ashtrays, but I feel like not a lot of news this week. You know why? I think a lot of people are still traveling for Inner Tobacco.
Inner Tobacco, yeah.
So not.
I mean, there was other
Quite a
news.
bit.
It wasn't as heavy as a news week. But yeah, Inter Tobacco was last weekend, which.
And the McAuliffe open house, which shout out to Mickey Pegg for finding the people who stole his bag.
Did he find it?
Yeah, they found someone. Okay, so I don't quite know the story, but I was following the thread. Mickey Pegg lost his bag at the airport.
I saw that, but I don't know the
He has an
follow.
air tag in it. It had gone back to the airport. It had gone around Philadelphia, and then he did a tag where he tagged a reporter in ABC6 in Philadelphia, and they were like following people. And they,
Good man.
because they were trying to resell the cigars he had put in his checked bag
No way.
at
I
shops.
think they
Yeah,
actually-
that's
They
what
actually
had
did
happened.
sell almost everything in his bag because
Yeah.
they got it back.
They did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess don't ever check your bag if you have cigars in it.
I don't. I just ship it
I
back.
know. Yeah, shipping is actually probably a better option.
Most of the time when we travel, so I usually bring a lot of cigars with me, and then I bring a lot of cigars back with me. And sometimes I bring more back than when I went with. But a lot of the times what I do, especially for a trade show, we ship most of it back. Because, I mean, and Nicole's right. I mean, like, you stuff in a suitcase with all that stuff, and, you never know. Sometimes you lose your bag or someone steals it or
Plus,
whatever.
I just picture all the bag people just
Yeah,
like,
and I literally, there was one trade.
throwing these cigars.
I mean, we've been to several trade shows at this point, and there was one trade show we came back, and I think we flew red eye because we were coming back from Vegas, and I just remember being in the airport in the morning at like 7:00 in the morning, having been on a red eye, like just half asleep, half awake, miserable, like just like I'm exhausted, and waiting for my bag to come down the carousel, and I remember this was like I think last year. Bag came down, and the zipper broke at some point, and it was just sitting loose on the carousel. And I didn't notice it, and I went to pick it up, and all my cigars just went everywhere. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And it was a pain in the ass. And I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I can do you one better though, because one time I was flying back from England, and I was waiting for my bag, just looking at everything going around, and all of a sudden this clear trash bag is on the carousel, and everything's going. I'm like, I think that's my underwear I can see in this clear trash bag. I didn't even get the broken bag back. They literally just put it in a clear bag, all of my belongings.
I didn't even know that story.
Put a post-it note on it. Said Nicole.
No post-it note. No, nothing. I just
Was
recognized
this here or there?
here
Black
on this
Sharpie.
side. So Tia's
Was this when you were still going back and forth?
Yeah, this is when I was going back and forth to England a lot, and yeah, so I just saw my underwear out in the open on the carousel, and I'm like, okay. And it was like quite a big bag because it was one of like the 50-pound bags, like because I would travel for months at a time.
Yeah.
So it was quite a lot of things. Anyway, so no bag even at all. Just
At least
trash bag.
at least they bagged it for you. Like I've seen suitcases come out and like mine, and like it's busted, and they'll just like fold it over and be like, "Here you go," and it's like,
It might
what the
depend
fuck
on
am I gonna
it
do
might
with that?
depend on where it breaks.
That's true.
Is what I think it might be. So it like if it breaks before getting on the plane.
They're like, "Well, we gotta bag it now," but if it's after it comes off, they're like, "Fuck it, they'll get it."
Yeah.
That's true though. That's true.
So-
But yeah, at least you got that. I mean, the only things I'll do, and I kind of have them here off to the side, but like I'll have like my plastic cases I'll put cigars in, and I lock them. Not that people still couldn't get in, but like I usually will put stuff in those and put them in my suitcases. But anything else, anything loose, I ship it back. And especially if we're in Vegas, I leave my stuff at Kevin's house, and I have Kevin send it back because it's just not worth it. It's just there's a lot of stuff But I mean,
and it's cheaper than paying the overages.
Hold on, but not that I'm saying that like Mickey's in the wrong. And Mickey's also in a position where he kind of probably has to have stuff with him all the time. So I get it, and it's unfortunate that it's happened to him because when you're traveling with stuff, you kind of have to have it on you all the time, and you go from city to city to city. But that sucks. But honestly, good for Mickey because there's a lot of people out there who would be like, "Oh, I lost my bag. Like this sucks." Like. But no, Mickey stayed on top of that shit because I didn't really follow it, but I saw him making multiple posts about this. Good for him. Yeah.
I'm always here for the Facebook dramas.
Oh yeah,
that was the drama.
Always here.
That was the drama of the week. Mickey's bag. Following it.
the drama.
The Facebook drama of the week in the cigar world was Mickey Peg's bag. Ooh, what'd you light up?
I just lit up this Howard G. Leon Cersei All Pro Series Little Circe. This is San Andreas wrapped Nicaragua binder filler. This is really nice. This is super toothy. I wish I could get I don't think I can. The tooth on this is insane. I also love the little detail. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but the band is kind of textured. It kind of reminds me of like a football skin. Like it has the same texture of that.
Like the little brown bumps.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You're in Canada, so when you say football, you mean like football, or do you mean soccer?
Well, obviously I mean football like this because Leon Cersei is an all-pro.
I have to make sure. I have to make sure. That's just me.
Hot
poking.
take. I actually don't like soccer at all. So
good.
Interesting.
And I think the pros are a general joke and just are overpaid actors who flop around on the field. But hey, don't send me hate mail.
We wouldn't want that.
Well, sports are big right now, especially like with the strike going on and everything, like reality TV here because of the writers' strike.
That's true.
And whatnot.
Yeah,
and
this
sports
thing is toothy.
I'll
try to get a good pic of it.
Yeah,
Very
get a
good.
picture of that. We'll get a good picture of that and check that out.
This is still smoking great.
Oh yeah, I got a great construction, great draw, very complex, great transitions,
And
a lot of smoke production, which is awesome.
I thought it was honestly going to be more. I anticipated it to be more of a bold cigar.
Like their old bold line, or you mean?
No, just like I guess I
Or actually, like,
assumed
more
because
bold.
it's black. I don't know just the connotation of like more pepper,
It's-
more darker, but actually it's very smooth,
well
and very
balanced.
balanced. Yes.
Yeah.
Well balanced cigar, but very mouth filling, like
yeah.
full of flavor. Nice cigar.
Like I had that Liga the other night and it kicked my ass after. Like it's funny the Papasaka did not do that because I love darker cigars. So when I was like, oh well, I haven't smoked in so long, I should probably start with like some Connecticut, keep it light. And I didn't do that. So I was prepared to, just like feel like the nicotine sweats and everything going on, when you're starting to smoke again and it's been a while.
Yeah,
But
Bruce added in there. The Robusto is only $7, which is true, and the Toro's $8. So for $7 or $8, I mean, you can, like I said, this is a great value for what you get. There's a lot of cigars that are very similar to this that are maybe just as good, maybe slightly better, maybe just slightly, I don't want to say worse, but you know what I mean. But they're all in the same wheelhouse, so to speak, and they're a lot more, than the cigar.
Yeah.
And for $8, I mean, it's hard to beat.
and now and I have to re-smoke them because it's been a while now. But my favorite McAuliffe cigars are the Leanda number 2 was one of my favorites, and then the A. So I don't know. This might be a new favorite. Those are my
Yeah,
It's
like I
jumped
said,
up to
my
being
picks.
my favorite.
yeah, I think this is the best cigar that McAuliffe has ever made.
I don't
And
know because I really liked that A.
the A is good, but what I will say,
Oh, and the what were the little ones that they can't? Why am I spacing? Remember the little McAuliffes, the short ones,
Migdalias,
the Migdal,
the SE, the
the
Migdalia
SC
SE or
Migdal,
whatever.
yes,
Oh.
the SC, not because I was like, oh, the regular, no, because it's not, yeah,
or
the
if you
SC.
or if you have the collection set, which it's not limited, you can still get one. They make one of each of their blends, in that small lawn stray size, which I think is a 4x36 or something like that, which is that size. You can get that set, and you can actually have that size in all of their blends.
And I don't know this, but is the Leanda number 2 discontinued?
I don't know, Bruce. I will find out though.
The reason because didn't they switch? Because when I'm thinking Leanda
They
number 2, they had.
repackaged it and they added some new sizes to it.
Do they do the tapered end anymore? I think maybe that's why they changed the size because I think they got rid of the tapered. Because remember, it came in the coffin and the whole. Because they don't do the coffins anymore for them, right? That was.
I don't think so.
But I don't know, Bruce. I have to. It's been that long since I've smoked one, so
I have to
just
clarify
not
on
in
that
the-
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bruce, that's a good. I have to clarify with like Andy or Dan on that one because I can't remember off the top of my head. I know they repackaged that. They've
They
been
still have
repackaging
the
a lot of
Leanda,
stuff,
but whether or not it's still the
number
the
1 and the number
original-
2.
but with that taper, I don't know.
Yeah,
Because I loved it, even though I did not like the taper so much because I felt like sometimes it was a little tight, and I'd have to like poke an extra hole. But I love the blend.
yeah, no,
Itself.
it is. It is a good one, and it was one of my favorites too until the black came along, which also is the other thing too. Is as I'm thinking about the collector's edition, they're gonna have to expand that collector's edition to put the black in there because there's no way that you leave the black out of that set. I mean, that's an amazing set. The black has to be in there. I mean, just it
Yeah.
has to be. So hopefully they do add that. If anyone from McAuliffe is listening, that would be cool to see. But anyway, we looking at our time here. We're getting towards the end of the show here. So we're gonna probably wrap up soon. And
It's a spare notes week.
it is a spare notes week. And we will be back Saturday night with Coop and Kevin for all of the hot takes from the last 2 weeks and whatever Coop's gripe of the week is. If he's still listening, as a reminder, Coop,
I'm sure he'll have some from traveling.
find a beef of the week. Find a beef of the week, and then of course she's probably gonna tell us all about his trip, and that'll be awesome to talk about, as well as some other stuff that's probably been going on. But you'll hear more about it on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here, same place.
And who's on next week?
Next week, I'm pretty sure actually, hold on. Next week, so okay, It was supposed to be on from Drew Estate, but we actually had to flip flop him, because Carney was gonna come on the 4th, and so now Carney will be next week, and Anfan from Drew Estate will be the following Wednesday, October 4th. And that'll be interesting. So we'll have John come on next week. We can get caught up with him, and then after that, we'll have a Drew Estate show. We can talk all about the busy year that Drew Estate has had. They returned to the trade show in 2024, and whatever else I can squeeze out of them for new and exciting information. Other than that, and also there will be a Drew Estate giveaway, which I now which I was supposed to put out this week. I didn't, for various reasons, but also because now On's going to be a week out. I'm going to wait a little bit, and I think I'm going to launch it maybe this weekend and run it until he comes on the show. So I'm going to shoot to launch that by Saturday. So for spare notes, we can talk about it, and then I'll have it run until that Wednesday when On comes on the show, and we'll decide the winners with On the show.
And
on
I don't
October
know if people
4th.
noticed, but people were asking for more giveaways, and we are delivering.
Yeah.
So please enter them so that we can continue to do them. Because if people don't enter, we don't want to. Doing them.
The JC so the JC Newman one went well, the McAuliffe one went well, and now we're having Drew Estate one. So
They've been doing well this time, but we've had ones that we've done before. I feel like.
yeah. So we're excited about that, and more information will be available on SmokingTobacco.com once it goes live. Like I said, I think that's gonna go live this
The
weekend.
new site's going to be beautiful.
Ooh, we can't wait.
Yep.
Can't wait. Any day now. But other than that, that's going to be our show for this week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can get your podcast, on all the podcast platforms, and on YouTube and the rest of our social media. And as always, visit SmokingTobacco.com for more news, reviews, and other events and exciting things from the cigar industry. We'll see you on Saturday night. Take care.
Have a
Bye,
good night.
everyone.